is up, everybody? We are here, March Madness first round upset selection show. But before we get started, I'm Patty. This is Al.
Well,
He's Al. And also, before we get started, congrats to the Fullerton College Hornets. My brother Perry Webster, head coach. Super proud and pumped for you, bud. They didn't want you guys to win. Now you're the first coach in the history of the state to be the state MVP and the coach of the state champions. What a remarkable thing to be able to say. I'm so happy.
yeah, and what the hell, Steve Fryer? How come there's no article about them?
Thank you. In the girls' game, when we have no OC girls, anyways.
Number one team in the whole state, and we can't get an article about them in the Orange County Register.
From a historic city of Fullerton. Anyways, I digress. East Quadrant. Al, who you got? First round upset.
First round upset, East Quadrant. I don't see too many upsets coming out of this quadrant. I'm going with a 10 seed over a 7, and that's Richie Pitino's Minnesota Golden Gophers beating Louisville. I got them getting a little revenge for Papa Rick last year.
For Papa Rick. That's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see that one. I feel like that the committee did that on purpose. I have the smart boys from Yale taking it to the bush and the bayou down south and LSU. I think that Yale is
very smart.
Good team.
They're very smart.
Forget the smartness. They're good at basketball, and I think they got a chance to actually pull that one out. So it's going to be fun to see a 14 over 3. That'd be crazy to see. All right, Al, we're moving on to the West. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to go with our boy Ja Morant in Murray State. All the hype in the world. Seems like a phenomenal player. Can't wait to see him in tourney time, and I think he's got a chance to maybe even make it to the Sweet 16.
Marcus Howard against Ja Morant. Marquette against Murray State. Lots of star power in that matchup there. I'm going with number 15 Montana over number 2 Michigan. We saw this matchup last year in the first round, and Montana actually jumped out to a 10-0 lead, but then blew it 51-37 to lose the game. But I think they're going to pull it out this year, and I think the Wolverines are kind of just sinking at the wrong time, and they're going to get upset by the Grizz.
I would love to see that happen. Oh boy, Donnie, could you imagine Donnie's reaction to that one? Oh, that would be so funny. Don, if you're watching, we'd love to talk to you about that, bud.
And if you don't know him, you probably know someone like him who's a big Michigan fan.
Yeah, exactly.
How about out west, Patrick? Midwest.
Midwest.
In the mid, not all the way out, just in the mid.
Midwest, I have the boys from the Southwest, New Mexico State. I think they're going to pull out the victory. I like them year in and year out in terms of always a solid program, produce a decent amount of players, actually, and come from maybe the most underrated conference in America.
I'm going a little bit bigger than that. I'm going for another 15 over a 2. I'm trying to contain my excitement for the madness that is March and keep my volume at an acceptable room temperature. But I'm going for Abilene Christian, the 15 seed, over John Calipari's number 2 seed Kentucky Wildcats. First appearance in the NCAA tournament. I think Abilene Christian is going to make the most of this.
I mean, that would be something to see. Kentucky's been playing well lately, too, so that would be something to see. But, hey, stranger things have happened. Ask a mystery person from the next quadrant. I would be shocked if that happened, though. But it would be a lot of fun to see. You can tell that Al's got his inner Dickie V coming out when he's talking about March Madness. He can't even contain himself. It's so funny.
How about in the South, Patrick?
The final one, South. Local team, UCI Anteaters. A, they're local. 2, they're a 30-win team. They're a good team. No joke. They got a lot of talent. A couple big fellas are pretty good. I'm excited to see what happens. What about you?
I think it's a little bit more skilled team for this year's Anteaters compared to their 7-foot squad that they had a few years ago.
Yeah, definitely different than that team.
But in the South, I have the second greatest upset of all time. I'm going for back-to-back Virginia losses to 16 seeds, and I'm picking Gardner-Webb. No one in the world thought UMBC could do it last year. I have Virginia losing 2 years in a row to 16 teams, and Tony Bennett's going to cry on live TV.
That would be something to see. I don't wish Tony Bennett ill, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's still in Virginia next year, depending on how they do. All right, real quick, let's just go ahead and run through our Final Four too. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say who my 2 matchups are and who I have winning. Just go right through it, and then you can follow up too. Okay. So coming from the left side of the bracket, I have Duke coming out on top, and then I have Gonzaga coming out, and I think it's gonna be the rematch of the Maui Invitational, which was just a phenomenal game. However, I don't think the Zags pull this one off. I think Zion, for some reason, he came back and he's even more, mythic than he was before. It's something special, and I think he carries them to the top and eventually winning, defeating the victor of the East side, and actually have Wisconsin coming out of top, which is a bit of an upset in itself, although they are very good. And I have North Carolina actually because they've been playing very well lately, coming out of the Midwest, and I have a Duke UNC final, which to my core burns me. I don't even like the thought of that. It really sucks. Really sucks. It's like voting for, even though it's not possible, a Yankees versus Red Sox World Series. It would be the worst thing. You would be happy because you suck, but the rest of the world would be so mad. You know what I mean? But Duke beats North Carolina in the championship. Voila, what you got, Al?
Mine's a little similar. I have Gonzaga coming out of the West as well, but in the East, I do not have Duke. I have Duke going down, and it's going to take a Herculean effort to take down the hero Zion Williamson. And I do have another hero in this corner of the bracket, which is Mr. Taco Fall from UCF.
Taco Fall.
I've got UCF coming
the
out of
second round.
I've got UCF going all the way to the Final Four out of this bracket. We're going to have UCF Gonzaga on the left side of the bracket. On the right side of the bracket.
Taco Fall versus Rui Hachimura.
On the right side of the bracket, I also have some amazing madness in store for you. And out of the Midwest, I have none other than your Wofford University Terriers, the number 7 seed. And if you have not seen the Wofford University play this year, you are in for a treat this tournament. They have Fletcher Maggie and Nathan Hoover, who are a miniature version of Stephen Clay. And you gotta watch these guys. They just throw up 3-pointers all over the court. I think they're the type of team that could get hot in the tournament. I have them going all the way to the Final Four against Villanova, last year's champion, who I have Villanova sneaking out of the top from the 6th seed out of the South. I have Villanova beating Wofford in the Final Four, and Gonzaga beating UCF in the Final Four for a rematch of last year's final. Gonzaga against Villanova yet again. This time I got Gonzaga winning. I got Rui Hachimura becoming the MVP of the tournament, and Mark Few getting his first career national championship in Spokane, Washington. Go Zags.
I would love to see that happen. That'd be interesting. I like it. Nice sauce, too. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Have it. Those are our predictions for first round upsets and also our Final Four predictions. We'll probably do another video next week to talk about the Sweet 16. I am very excited to say that I'm going to both the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight at the Anaheim, the Pond, which is now called the Honda Center, but all true sports fans call it the Pond. And I'm pumped for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We don't know who's going to be playing yet, but whoever is, entertain me.
It may be Wofford Terriers.
It may be.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, and hope to talk with you again soon.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Thanks.